G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland. And this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's climate outlook for the Northern Territory for the weeks and months ahead, issued on the 22nd of August 2024. So we'll take a look at the rainfall outlooks to begin with, starting with the outlook scenarios. And this is the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. So looking ahead to the 3 months from September to November, we're seeing a 75% chance of up to about 25 millimetres of rain for southern parts of the territory, including around the Alice Springs region, and up to 100 mils or more around the Darwin region and the Tiwi Islands. And looking further ahead to the 3 months from October to December, we're seeing those forecast rainfall totals increase as we move into the wet season for Northern Australia, and we'll look at that closer next month. And if you'd like to drill a little deeper into the forecast for a specific location, remember you can use this magnifying glass feature here where you can specify somewhere. So let's say Darwin, and this little box appears, breaking down the forecast into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring to give you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median. And your local climate mate is always happy to go through this with you in more detail. And now taking a quick look at the Bureau's outlook for the northern rainfall onset issued on the 15th of August, and much of the Northern Territory has a 60 to 70% chance of a later than usual onset. Now let's look at temperatures. And the differences from average for maximum temperature show warmer conditions across the territory, with some central and southern parts expecting 4 degrees or more above average for the 2 weeks from the 26th of August to the 8th of September. And here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. For minimum temperature, we're also looking at warmer conditions across the territory of around 2 to 3 degrees above average for most regions over that 2-week period. And looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months from September to November, unsurprisingly, we're seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days and nights across the territory. And by unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year based on the 1981 to 2018 period. So these long-range forecasts are influenced by several climate factors. So let's have a quick look at the latest climate driver update from the Bureau. And the El Niño Southern Oscillation is currently neutral, but we are still on La Niña watch. This does not guarantee that a La Niña will develop, of course. 4 of the 7 climate models that the Bureau surveys are showing the possibility of La Niña conditions from October, and the remaining 3 are suggesting neutral conditions will continue. And remember, the early signs of La Niña are most relevant to the climate of the tropical Pacific region, and that the long-range forecasts for Australian rainfall and temperature provide better guidance for local climate. Now, the Indian Ocean Dipole, or the IOD, is neutral. Most climate models suggest the IOD is likely to remain neutral throughout spring. And also keep in mind that IOD forecast skill is typically low at this time of year, beyond about 2 months ahead. As for our other climate drivers, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, or the MJO, is currently over the Indian Ocean with moderate strength. This typically influences a reduction in rainfall over southern Australia at this time of year, and climate models suggest the MJO will become weak as it moves eastward into the Maritime Continent region to the north of Australia in the coming week. And finally, the Southern Annular Mode, or the SAM, has been negative in the last month, but it's currently neutral and expected to remain mostly neutral into September. So finally, turning to the pasture growth outlook from long paddock for the 3 months from August to October. Not much is happening for northern regions at this time of year, of course, but some of the southern regions are expected to see varying amounts of pasture growth in response to the expected rainfall in the coming months. As always, for more information and further updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. And if you have any questions about recent conditions or the use of weather and climate forecasts, please reach out to your local climate mate. You can read more about the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacp.org.au. See you next time.